Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is a Thursday. It's September the 28th, and today is National North Carolina Day, National Drink Beer Day, National Strawberry Cream Pie Day, and National Good Neighbor Day. All of those things happening on this Thursday. In addition to that, I have a Dear John letter, and this is kind of interesting because the Dear John letter is from a listener's daughter. So the listener's daughter sent the letter. It says, my mom listens every day and loves you guys. So we're going to be reading this Dear John letter coming up here in a little bit. You can also chime in with advice. It's a young lady who doesn't really like the way mom and dad are treating them. They got to fly in first class, and these guys were stuck back in steerage.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you got to go on vacation. I'm going to just say you just wait and see what the advice is. I got a feeling it's going to not be super polite, but we'll get to it here in a little bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. It might not surprise anybody to hear this. According to a new poll, majority of young adults think proper spelling just doesn't matter. Punctuation just doesn't matter. At least that's what happens when you're on social media platforms. A new survey of Gen Z says it was found that less than a quarter use periods, commas, or quotation marks in casual communications. For comparison, by the way, about half of people, 55% over the age of 65, say they're very conscientious when it comes to proper grammar while texting or posting online. The younger you get, the less it matters, by the way. Younger people didn't really care about anything in text messages. On social media platforms, Snapchat and TikTok, less than 10% really seem to care. Just a quarter of those between 18 and 24 use capital letters correctly, compared to 61% of seniors, and just 16% of Gen Z use periods at the end of sentences. So, does any of that surprise you?
Not at all.
Okay. By the way, our generation, we're stuck in between those two generations. We do it all right. What's that? We don't? Oh, we're the worst? Okay. Surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know the vibrant colors that leaves have in the fall?
Yeah.
That's their actual colors?
Really?
Yeah, it's true. The leaves that change are naturally those orange, red, and yellow shades, but during half the year, those hues are overwhelmed by green chlorophyll.
Okay.
So as the chlorophyll goes away in the autumn, the other pigments begin to actually show. So that's if you ever heard the phrase showing their true colors.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I have.
what happens in the fall. Trees begin to show their true colors.
Okay. That's fascinating.
Yeah, a bunch of chlorophyll during the summer apparently like drowns out their true colors. And I love the colors of like the different colored leaves.
Oh, love that.
That's like one of my favorite things
too.
this time of year.
Yep, me
and there
too.
are different places in the world where it's way cooler, and there's different places where they're like, it doesn't make much of a difference. But if you get a chance to go to a place where it's like way cooler, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Leslie Jones says that her friend Chris Rock was actually seeking counseling after being slapped by Will Smith. The supermarket sweep host told people the incident was, quote, humiliating to him.
I bet.
And it really affected him.
Of
and there were
course it
people
did.
who
How
made
could
light
it
of it for a
not?
long time. And I'm like, guys, come on. What? And it's like they were almost poking fun at him. I think he handled it very, very well.
I think he handled it very well, but it of course it was humiliating. It was on television.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is celebrating 4 decades now as an American citizen. He felt had a really nice, heartfelt Instagram video. The former California governor was born in Austria, but he had a really nice thing with a photo from his citizenship oath in 1983. It's really kind of cool. I got a link to it. And the Barbie movie is now the 11th highest grossing movie at the domestic box office, overtaking Marvel's 2012 blockbuster, The Avengers. So what I'm trying to say is it's done okay. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. All right, before I even read the story, I'm going to ask Heidi, are you a fan of anything at all pumpkin spice flavored?
You know, I like pumpkin.
Yeah.
So I like pumpkin pie. I like
but are there
that
things
pumpkin cake that I make, but I don't buy pumpkin drinks at all.
So are there any, because this time of year a lot of items come out that are pumpkin spice flavored.
Right.
Are there any of those that you're like, I'm excited to try the pumpkin spice this
No.
or that? There's none.
None.
Because there are some, I've got some friends that are big fans of certain pumpkin spice coffee, like whether it's a latte,
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
yeah.
But I just saw they had posted a thing saying, hey, it's the first day, I only get this for however long, so I'm going
Yeah.
to cherish it. But not everybody feels the same way.
No, I definitely don't.
From the Forever Fall and Halloween Facebook page, somebody posted this review of a new pumpkin spice Frosty from Wendy's. Now, I'm going to say this.
Ew.
I'm going to just say this ahead of time. I'm a fan of Frosty. I'm a fan of Wendy's. I have nothing negative to say about them. I'm reading word for word what was posted. You might love this. This person apparently did not. Beautiful description, though. Just a little PSA-style testimony here. The pumpkin spice Frosty I was so excited to try at Wendy's is absolutely revolting. Again, this is their opinion. I've had some time to think about this whilst power washing the inside of my mouth, and the best way I can describe the flavor is this: melted dollar store pumpkin candles spritzed with 65-year-old Avon perfume and stirred with the leg of a haunted Victorian doll. Try if you must, but I do not recommend. I've got a link if you want to read there. But that was word for word what they said.
That's hilarious.
I'm going to go back to say I'm a fan of Wendy's. I'm a fan of the Frosty, but I will also say I've never had a pumpkin spice Frosty. Have you had one of those?
No, and I have no desire.
Okay,
to
well,
try
I'm just
one.
saying I've never tried it. So I wonder if this person who left this horrid review, because it was not a good review, if they are fans of pumpkin spice, other things, and just not that.
Well, they must have because
I don't know.
they wanted to try it.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of Wendy's. No, I'm just kidding. Of BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. And it's time right now for
Dear John Letters.
Dear John, dear John.
All right, I'm excited to see what Heidi has to say on this. I think I know what she's going to say, but who knows? She has surprised me from time to time. Dear John, I'm 17. My mom listens to your show every day, and she loves you guys. So I'm calling her out on what she did to us on our recent vacation. Our family went on a vacation together. It was a great trip, but when she booked our flights, my mom and dad were in first class, and she stuck me and my 9-year-old brother in the back with strangers. It's not like we can't afford it. My dad makes a ton of money, and we've always flown first class before. I asked what was up with this, and my mom said, it's time I learned to not be so elitist. She says, I don't appreciate how the real world works, and I'm not happy. I think this is ridiculous. And I told her. She did not react well. What's going on here? Am I wrong in thinking this is simply cruel? Signed, distraught daughter.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 17. I'm going to sit back and let Heidi tear her apart now. Poor kid.
Yeah, this is an absolutely irrational and unacceptable request on behalf of your parents. That is, shame on you.
So
if
here's what I
you
would
want
say.
to be upgraded to first class, feel free to take the money that you've earned from, I'm assuming, the amazing job that you have that helps to pay the bills at the house and pay your own way into first class. It is not free. It is not inexpensive. And you didn't buy the tickets.
Here's what I'm going to say. So Heidi got her rough jabs
She's
in.
17 years old. It's not like they stuck a 4-year-old in back
got
with
it.
strangers.
Yep. She was with the 9-year-old brother.
Right. She
The
was
two
with
of
her
them-
brother.
So here's what I'm going to say. And again, you can chime in with your advice at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Other folks have. And again, I feel bad for this young lady because I think that she thought it was going to be everybody going, oh, I can't believe your parents did that. I can't believe they would make you do
Right.
that. Here's one of the things that I will say. I'm really glad that you sent the letter. I appreciate that. And thank you to your mom for listening. Appreciate that, Mom. But I will also say you might have just learned a really good lesson. Maybe a couple of them, actually. So Mom and Dad were trying to teach you guys a lesson that, hey, this is the real world. Not everything is going to be first class. It's not always going to be. But they still took you on vacation. That's the thing I'm getting from this.
Exactly. You know how many vacations I was flown on when I was a kid?
How many?
0.
Guess how many I was flown on, Heidi?
How many?
0.
There you go.
Yeah, I hadn't been on an airplane until I was like a teenager. But when I was a teenager, it was a flight like just around the area because we had a friend that was a pilot and he took us for a flight. And then the next flight was a trip that I won.
Right.
So, but it wasn't my family taking me on a trip. Oh,
Exactly.
and by the way, I hadn't flown first class until I was in my 40s.
Right.
So only reason we did that, we have a card with some points and we were able to upgrade. I've never purchased a first class ticket. So again, at the end of the day, I'm glad they took you with, because here's what the letter could have been. My parents went on a trip without me.
Oh, yeah. Which
That-
my parents did.
Oh yeah, all the time. So
Yeah.
that could have very easily been the letter. That, in the past, we would always go together, and this year they didn't. And here's the thing you need to understand. The last few years, I don't know if you know this, but the global economy has changed.
It has
Things are-
changed a lot.
So even if your dad does financially do really well, there might be some things that are a little different in their world.
That's right.
And you might be sheltered from that because at the end of the day, you're 17. They probably don't want to have to sit you down and say, here's all these things that are changing, because they don't need to. And you don't
Right.
want that burden.
You don't
Trust
want
me.
that burden yet. You will have it soon enough.
Yeah, but when it comes right down to it, I love the fact that they still took you on vacation.
Exactly.
Now, could they have all flown in the back? They could have. But if the mom is saying, the quote in here was, she says,
And
I
they
don't...
may have had enough miles for the parents to get a free upgrade, because that happens all the time. They may have a
Yeah.
credit card where they got a free upgrade.
Could be.
And
But-
the kids didn't qualify.
Mom said, it's time I learned not to be so elitist. So there's something going on there.
Right.
Because she wouldn't have said that if there wasn't something going on. And she said that I don't appreciate how the real world works. So there's something going on there. So this was designed to be a lesson, and I don't think you learned the lesson. And then you sent this letter, and I'm telling you, take this opportunity to learn the lesson from all the people that said what they said on Facebook and what Heidi just said with her rough edges. I tried to be very soft and delicate because, again, at the end of the day, you're 17.
You're a kid.
Yeah. You're going to learn. But I think...
And she doesn't think it's fair. And it's, probably time
said-
she learns that life is not fair.
Am I wrong in thinking this is cruel?
Yes.
I don't think it was cruel at all. But again, if I was 17, I might agree with you. You can chime in with your advice at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
About 40% of the ants in a colony are lazy and supposed to spend most of their time just sitting around.
Oh,
40%?
that's a lot.
Yeah, so the 60% of the ants are doing all the work. 40% are just laying around. Those numbers seem about right.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Workaholics generally get less work done because they take on too much and they tend to be a bit disorganized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you pointing at me?
Yeah, exactly.
I have such a mess on my desk right now. Hey, by the way, if you're waiting on anything from me, I'll get to it eventually. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Professional baseball players have an average visual acuity of 2012. Much better than 2020, which is considered good. So they've got like really, really good.
Oh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
Honeybees keep their hives at 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh.
So I wonder who has to pay the heat bill on that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
The word broadcast originally referred to farmers casting or scattering seeds over a broad area. That's where broadcast came from.
Oh, all right.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 77% of us say we feel less stressed after we clean this. What is it? 77% say less stress when we get this all
Clean
tidied
off
up.
our desk.
No, the kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I know.
I absolutely agree with that.
Her name is Heidi, but I call her Tidy Heidi because, yeah, it's like you can
I
do the
do
dishes.
feel anxious if
You
the
do the
house
dishes.
is...
I'm like, can I finish eating first? Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at mintervention.com. That's mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. This comes from the Department of Things Heidi Would Do. A fake sign that was at a beach was removed because it wasn't true. Beyond this point is a nude beach, according to this. Yeah. Loyola Beach. It said a nude beach fake sign was removed. Chicago Park District. Rogers Park beachgoers headed to the lakefront over the Labor Day weekend is when this happened. There was a new sign that said nude beach beyond this point. So the sign also included the official Chicago Park District seal. They replied to a tweet about it, confirming the sign was not official. And they pointed out that unauthorized use of the district's seal is strictly prohibited. So,
so if they find out who did it, there's going to be some trouble.
So you're in trouble, not for the sign, but for using the seal on the sign. I think you're probably in trouble for the sign as well. But does that sound like something you would do?
I think that's hilarious.
I figured that sounded like something you would do. Weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Oh, by the way, she didn't do that one. She has an alibi.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. The most popular baby names from 1948. Do you want boys or girls first? Which one?
Let's do girls.
Number 10, Kathleen. 9, Sharon. 8, Carol. 7, Nancy. 6, Sandra. 5, Susan. 4, Patricia. 3, Barbara. 2, Mary. And the number one name in 1948, Linda.
Okay.
How about the boys? Number 10, Ronald. 9, Charles. 8, Thomas. 7, Richard. 6, Michael. 5, David. 4, William. 3, John. That's my name. 2, Robert. And 1, James. There's the most popular baby names of 1948, 75 years ago.
Very nice.
I know a lot of people with those names.
I do too.
Many of those people. All right. The list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Cynthia Heimel is our quote today. She said, "If you can't live without me, why aren't you dead already?" Wow. Okay. Thank you, Cynthia. I think what she means to say is, I love you too. Maybe that's not. All right. That is your quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Take a listen to this headline. Heroes in action. Atlanta officer and firefighters dramatic flood rescue. Have you seen this making its round on the internet?
I have
Heidi?
not.
It is amazing. There was a bunch of rain in Atlanta that happened really quickly, September 14th, and they had floods. Atlanta police officer Rayondo Bryan and a fire rescue department captain, Terrence Simon, are being praised for their swift and selfless actions. The officer was on duty, came upon a vehicle, a person in distress. There was a car that was not quite underwater, but the floodwaters were rising, and they were stuck inside. They couldn't get out. So they were in there for a few minutes. The water was over 4.5 feet deep, so they had to act quickly. Floodwaters had risen to perilous levels, causing the vehicle to become suspended above the ground, making the doors unmovable. Without hesitation, though, he got into the water and assisted to rescue this person. He pulled out his baton and broke the driver's side window, creating an escape route for the stranded motorist. Together with a police officer and a fire captain, they extricated the driver from this dire situation. Said, I told him, thank you for everything. You saved me that day. I told them specifically, express the man who had been pulled from the car. And the cool thing is, you can see video footage of this happening, which is just crazy. Because, what are the odds you're going to see video of that? But the odds are 100% because they actually caught it on video. So if you'd like to see that, I have a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. I just got to say thank you to first responders all over the place because you guys do amazing things. And you step up and help out all the time, every single day. Like, first responders hear this video and are like, what's the big deal? We do that all the time. But it's a big deal because
It's a
you're
very
saving
big deal.
people. And again, huge thank you to all of the people who do that. When you're running into a problem instead of running away from it, hero. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.